Hi there, welcome everybody to another ZoukCast episode. This week we have again episode on Wednesday, and I will say hi to just now and quickly to our co-host and silent friend, Nymph. How are you doing, Nymph?
I'm okay. I was just enjoying my drop,
Okay,
typical Dutch stuff.
what's that?
Drop. It's like a black kind of, and it's salty.
Okay, I have to try it next time I visit you. Okay, so this week we are talking about fusion in Zouk, but with a very special dance, Argentinian tango. And we have two guys that they are working on this kind of fusion since a long time ago, because ever since I knew them some years ago, they are working on this fusion. They are Stathis and Joanna. How you doing, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
So
Thanks for
we have
having
two
us.
calls with them because they are quite far apart right now. Joanna is in Poland, if I'm not
Correct.
mistaken. Yeah. And Stathis, you are in Qatar, maybe?
No, in Kuwait.
Kuwait, okay.
Yes.
So, how come you are so far from each other now?
Oh God.
Well, every time we manage to get jobs in different places. So I don't know.
So you're now going to Poland and Kuwait for your jobs, right?
Luck, I guess.
It's not exactly like this, but because I work in Athens and work in UAE and Stathis works in Kuwait, and it was supposed to be in Athens, all of it,
Okay.
but it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Okay, guys. So for the people that don't know you, because I met you guys quite long time ago, and by the way, I met Stathis in Barcelona when he was studying with spiral dancers too, and he came across like this cool guy, like he was not blending with the rest of the people because he was so cool. But I like him from the first time because I'm the rebel of the spiral dancers school, so I could understand the feeling for him. So we had a good time when he was here, and but why don't you introduce yourselves to the audience? And we will start with the lady today. So, Joanna, where do you come
Okay.
from, and how did you met Zouk?
Okay, so I'm Joanna, as everybody knows now. I'm a Polish girl who was studying in Denmark. By occasion, Stathis brought Zouk to my life because he wanted to dance. So this is the way I found Zouk. And he found Zouk. Ah, yes, we found Zouk in a festival once. First time in my life, I went to the festival in London. I saw Leticia and Daniel, and then I thought, this is impossible to dance. And then, it rolled.
Okay, so you were a tango dancer before, or?
I'm a tango dancer in the first line, yes, and Zouk came a bit after, and now I have both of the dances, like tango and Zouk. Sometimes when it's very, very, very boring, I go to dance salsa, but that's not so often.
Okay, so Stathis, what about you?
So again, guys, thank you for having me here. My name is Stathis Kanyos, so I'm a Greek guy. I've been dancing now for, let's say I'm 32, so let's say 14 years. I've been working with dance, let's say around 9 years, doing different things. I started with breakdancing in Patras, Greece, where I was studying. And then with the passing of the years, I stopped, let's say, so much with independent dancing, and I focused more with partner dancing. So I've been working quite a few years now with tango. And then I was focused quite a lot with salsa until I also went with Joanna to a festival in London over there, and we saw for the first time in our lives Kadu and Larissa and Leticia and Danielle. And like whatever plans I had at some point in my life, when I saw these guys dance, I was like, fuck, you're doing something wrong, dude. You need to start doing this.
Nice. So after you met them, you met Kadun, Larissa, and Daniela Leticia, you decided that you wanted to get into Zouk. And how was that? How did you get into the Zouk world?
Actually, what both me and Joanna managed to succeed in doing was that we got a, you would say, scholarship, let's say, in order for us to go and work in Barcelona as architects. So actually, Joanna managed to pull it off. She did a very good job with this. And so I spent over there a little bit more than a year, maybe 1.5 years while traveling back and forth to different places. And if I remember correctly, Joanna stayed there for 3-4 months.
Yes, correct.
But I was already working to a certain extent with dancing when I was in Denmark. I was doing a few tango classes, more salsa classes, and also a few Zouk classes, but not many because we were just learning back then, right? So it was a very, very small scene. Back then we were living in Copenhagen, Denmark, and there was only 1 or 2 persons perhaps dancing or teaching in Copenhagen and Malmö. So to the best of my information right now, we were the most active at that period of time in the area. So we decided that, okay, stay in rainy, cold Denmark.
It's not that bad.
Or go to fucking awesome Barcelona, work and dance and get paid, right? So we were successful in getting the chance to work over there and also study at the Spiral. Also, I was able to go and do more classes for a little bit with contemporary, a little bit of hip hop. And I also had some other dance partners I might not to work with tango and salsa a little bit, not really so much. But let's say Barcelona had been a very important turning point for at least my advancement with dancing and with Zouk.
Nice. So then you started to study Zouk with spiral dancers, and at some moment you thought like we could mix or fuse tango and Zouk together. How did you came to that conclusion? How did that appear in your mind, that fusion?
I think Joanna is perhaps a bit more qualified in
the guilty
this.
one is me, of course. No, it's not qualified. It's just because it just happened, this TangoZouk, which actually is not the TangoZouk style. It's just a fusion which happened out of better knowledge of the certain dance and wanting to express yourself with what you can. And since Zouk is so flexible and young and fresh, it's quite possible to fuse whatever you like. And now, Stathis, you can say the rest.
So, if I remember correctly, we were either in 2011 or 2012 in the intensive classes that happened in the Spiral Dance in August, which is a very good event. I highly recommend it to everyone that wants to develop more their dance. So we were there, and there was quite a large group from people from Holland. One of them was Roger, the very tall guy that you see him all the time in the festivals. So if I remember correctly, he really liked dancing with Joanna, and Joanna was doing a lot of figures from tango. So for him, with more of his experience with Zouk, it was something very, very new and very exciting because, God damn it, it's something he didn't see from other people while they were dancing, right? So we managed to become because he wanted to find out how all these things happened. We had a few conversations, and I told him, okay, maybe you can either take some tango classes, which will take some time, of course, to learn, because it's learning another dance, it's learning another language in order for you to communicate. Or perhaps we could try to make some classes so people would be able to understand this. So, like, for me as a person, I would not say that I was always trying to mix tango with Zouk. It's just that because I've been dancing tango maybe twice the amount of years that I've been dancing Zouk, or perhaps even more, it's easier for me to mix it because by now it's, let's say, my primary dance. For, let's say, I'm just using names right now, like for example, Dadinho dances a lot of R&B Zouk or hip hop Zouk. So I presume he has a background more into this type of dance, so it's easier for him to combine it. Or you will see some other girls perhaps that dance ballet, for example, Natasha. So it's very obvious for you to understand that she has been having some dance profile or dance experience before.
Yeah, now
So
I'm thinking that maybe I should fuse American football with Zouk.
yes, that could be
You
awesome.
never know what will happen after.
Maybe not.
So I have one or two persons in mind that you could use it to.
Okay, don't name them now.
No,
Just
no,
continue.
no. So to a certain extent, we're always trying to use our own abilities, our own personality, our own ideas and hopes in our dance. So at that period of time, it was easier both for me and for Joanna to use it in our dance, and hopefully use it and teach other people to do it successfully, right? I remember several times you had in your talk show that you had either some issues or problems with people that dance sensual bachata, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is, as you say in Spanish, lo que vendrá, that which sells. So there was a period with salsa, the tango was very popular, so you will see a lot of salsa tango shows. Or now you will see the bachata sensual, which is very popular. So it's basically, from my understanding, more Zouk with bachata music, from the little things that I understand at least. So a lot of people just teach moves, right? And do not really spend so much time in the technique, which can be perhaps more profitable, but not let's say sufficient, both for the body of each other and perhaps for the long term. So for the first workshop we managed to do in Holland, with Roger as the organizer, was that we were trying to give more the concepts and the ideas and the techniques besides these things. Like, okay, why, for example, voleo is a movement of the leg. Let's say the way I understand it, or the way I try to visualize it to the people, is that in Zouk you utilize more movements with the upper part of your body, right? Let's say your lower body is more or less stable as your base, but you are able to express things with the upper part. In tango, it's more or less the opposite, of course, for social dancing, right? So you have embrace, always holding, always embracing the other person, but you're able to express everything with your lower part. So the central idea would be, what would happen if someone is, if not proficient, at least experienced in one enough dance, so you'd be able to put some other things from the other dances as well. So that would be the central theme of the concept of TangoZouk.
Okay, so are you able to do these head movements while you do this crazy thing with the legs, or still not at that level?
With a person that is not experienced in this, quite difficult, I would say.
Yeah.
The thing is that right now, let's say me and Joanna are lucky that we are invited by you, but it's not something that the two of us created or discovered. There's been other people that have done it before, have done it afterwards, and I'm pretty sure someone else will do it at some point later on when it's again more in fashion, let's say. Recently there was a video, if I'm not mistaken, in Facebook, I could be wrong, right? That is Jamie Arosa, and he's I think he's doing some video with bolero and tango elements, something like this. And from the little that I saw the video, he's basically doing tango, but in, or for example, Carlos and Fernanda. They have many moves that you could also see in pretty typical tango vocabulary. I'm pretty sure that if you look into it, you will see also other dancers, also other couples that have used it. It's just that right now I do not remember the exact names.
How long? There's a question from Tina. How long will it take, like, to, let me, there's a
I
question
cannot
here.
hear you so well. Sorry, one more time.
Wait a minute. How long will it need to dance tango to fuse it into Zouk?
Joanna, what do you think?
I believe you need to dance tango for like make it efficient at least for 1-2 years. But you can learn some figures like in the course to know them. However, it's better to learn the dance and then use different elements as you like, because that would be much more efficient.
Yeah, so
And
you can use like choreos to fuse it into the Zouk, those combinations.
Yes, but this is choreos.
To use tango properly, you have to study like 1 or 2 years at least.
Yeah, and more, and of course, because when you will start learning the tango or zouk, of course you will start liking the dance, and you will hopefully stay with the theme and with the crowd. Because if you will learn a figure, and what if somebody cannot lead it to you? So then it's useless.
Yeah, and another question is it possible to teach a guy how to fuse tango into Zouk? And did you also learn to lead like this way?
Staffy, can you learn the men?
Everything I think is a matter of time and previous experience. Like, of course, if you take someone that's an athlete or does martial arts or so, here to understand and use this information, right? My understanding would be that you would need, in order for you to be able to use it successfully, at least 2 years of dance experience with both. So let's say 2 years and 2 years.
Yeah.
A small, let's say, parenthesis on this. For example, for competition tango, you will have tango salon, which is, let's say, the correct version of tango, what you will dance in a milonga. Milonga is a tango party, right? So you will, all these things that tango is known for, like all the crazy legs, all the jumps, all these fancy moves, are basically not allowed in this.
Okay, and what about the connection?
So this is what we're trying to see, the connection, the musicality, right? Which is what we basically like in almost every dance, besides the walking part. The other category that you will see is tango escenario, which is basically tango with other forms of dance. Usually it will be either jazz or a little bit of contemporary, but mostly ballet. So you will see that if the guy is just a tanguero, or if the other guy is also a dancer, a tango dancer, let's say. So if you see some of these competitions or basically tango shows, you will see that besides the embrace and the walking, you will see some acrobatics, you will see some that you leave the other person, they will do something, and then you will find them together, which is, let's say, more dance rather than tango. But you still need to keep the certain identity of the dance, otherwise you will lose the effect, you will lose the concept.
Yeah. Another question. For both of you. Do you guys feel yourself more a Zouk dancer that are including tango, or tango dancer that are including Zouk?
Including? What do you mean including?
Yeah. Like,
when I go to the party of Zouk, I'm a Zouk dancer. When I go to Milonga, party of tango, I'm a tango dancer.
But if you go to a Zouk party and you dance Zouk, but you are fusing with tango, do you feel like you are dancing, you are a tango dancer that are doing Zouk stuff, or do you feel like, hey, I'm a Zouk dancer and I'm doing a bit tango into my Zouk?
Actually, I don't think about it. I just dance, and sometimes it becomes a bolero, and sometimes it's my head movement. And it also depends what Stathis has in his head, and maybe he will make me do the bolero, or maybe he will make me do the head movement. And it doesn't come as the identity if you are Zoukera or a Tanguera. It just comes with the song, with the situation, the partner, many things to get there, as for me.
Okay, so guys, you started to study Zouk, and then at one moment you started to teach this kind of fusion in some congresses and some festivals. How did that happen? Did the organizers get interested into that, or did you offer that kind of class to them? How did it happen?
Which one was the first one? I think at Jan in
Netherlands.
Berlin.
No, first we went to Netherlands to teach as Roger asked us.
Yeah.
And then we went to Poland and Berlin.
Okay, so it was with Roger in Holland. We were basically, let's say, invited because Roger wanted to learn this, and we offered what would be, let's say, a correct curriculum in order for people to use this to the best extent. And for the Berlin Congress that we went, I think it was also a combination that because we knew Jan from other festivals, like we asked, he wanted something, so we agreed. It's just that as everyone in life, like for example, let's say right now I work as an architect. You guys work mostly with IT, like Joanna right now works as a PM. You need to have a certain identity in order for you to be more accessible or interesting to the people, right? Mm-hmm. So, for example, I could not use the Zouk title for whatever reason, or I'm not really so. I'm not really that.
For me, we cannot also.
Yeah. So I'm also not as experienced in Brazilian Zouk as I am in for example, Zouk. So for me, going in a big festival and teaching Brazilian Zouk, like there's no point. There's going to be many more people that will be better than me in the subject. So the thing that I would be perhaps better in providing information in would be to how to mix different dances or how to show, for example, in tango we call it adornos. In general, you can call it embellishments. How the women or how the men can use embellishments to be used in Zouk. So this was, let's say, the product that we were able to offer, and some of the people were interested in getting.
And how was the response of the dancers, of the students?
I think people liked it. Like to my understanding, I think people liked it. And in Brazilian culture, you already have samba de gafieira, right? Yeah. So it's not something that people have not seen before or did not come in mind before. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Carlos and Fernanda, in some of their demonstrations, they will do some small steps of gafieira. So it's already, let's say, at least to a small extent, part of the dance. We could have been more successful with it, or we could have perhaps milked it more commercially, but I don't feel it's correct for people to learn TangoZouk as a style. You need to have a base of one thing, and you need to have a base in another thing, and be able to mix it, or at least have your core base in Zouk and learn some small figures or some small embellishments that you want to use. I don't think it's correct for a person to go and teach, okay, you need to learn TangoZouk, because then it will not be good for you as a base, as a dancer, both in a social and in an academic, let's say, level.
A question, like Kizomba, why don't you dance Kizomba? Because they use a lot of tango and stuff. You can dance.
Because I'm a tango dancer, I cannot dance kizomba.
But you can dance. If I saw a while ago like tango dancers dancing and on this tango music. But if I was imagining that if I just shut down the music and I put a tango kizomba music, it would really look like they are dancing kizomba. So if you dance tango and you do this on Zouk music, would it be kizomba?
No.
Because tango, kizomba uses a lot of things from Zouk. From
I have heard sometimes to be people call kizomba the African tango.
Yeah.
Correct.
So how do you feel about that name, the African tango, and with the question of nymph, how would you relate with kizomba being from tango?
Joanna, you want to try?
I will say something that's not popular, actually.
Well, you can say whatever. It's our show. You know,
okay.
The Zouk Devils and DJ Nymph. You can say whatever.
Yes.
For me, kizomba it's very difficult for me to appreciate it. Because when you are a tango dancer, when you have frame, when you are Zouk dancer, when you have frame and connection and everything working in place, it's very difficult to appreciate the kizomba where I don't find this. However, there are some very good dancers of kizomba that I enjoy dancing with them. So in here it's difficult to put the position or like a clear opinion on the dance itself. As a woman, I don't know about how the men can say that.
But the guys that you enjoy dancing, are they handsome or?
You don't. Oh, sorry, guys, you don't see so much when you dance in kizomba, but they can. I don't know how they end up being able to lead correctly, but they do. And it's a mystery for me that I have to kind of start looking into a bit more in details. However, I'm not interested in learning kizomba myself.
Okay, that's quite a statement. So, guys, what's in the future for you? Because now you're not working together because you are separated geographically. So, what's your plan for the future?
Change the job.
Which
No,
one?
seriously.
Yours or Stathis ones?
One of them.
Okay, and then if you could change your job and be again on the same country, what would you like to do with this fusion with Tango, or would you like to continue on a different path?
At least for me personally, because I like to do competitions or I like to make shows. Of course, you need to have a different language in each one, right? So, for example, I would like to have a completely separate, let's say, tango show, or I would like to have a completely separate Zouk show, because this is correct by itself. But let's say more as a product to sell, right? As a choreography, because it's correct technically and musically. But if I have a specific song that brings specific emotions, or I have a specific storyline that I want to show, or I want to try to explain to the people, then I will use all the tools that I have in my disposal. Either that is tango, or that is gaffiera, or it's contact, or anything else. And like to my understanding, Zouk is already, let's say, a very mixed dance, right? You have lambada, which is where we more or less started from, but then you started adding many things, changing the timing, changing the steps. So already Zouk is a mix of many different dances. So I'm not really sure if we just say TangoZouk will do justice to the dance, because it already has many elements of many other things. Let's say 2016, certain element popular. So I do not want to put a specific label into what I'm on the song, the partner, the period. Perhaps it will change.
Okay, and what's your take on that, Joanna?
For me, first of all, I would like to go back a bit to dancing again, because I have been retired for last couple of months. I have heard some story that some of us is dancing once a week. I would like to dance a couple of times a day and go back to congresses. And then if I get back a little bit from my retirement, maybe finally make something creative. But it's not really defined yet.
So, Stathis, I see that you have some address on your name, under your name. What's that about?
So the address under my name is my Mixcloud account. So it's mixcloud.com/ZoukGR, which is ZoukGR. If please you can go and like it, that would be a huge help for us. And I've been situated in Greece for a few years, so I try to help the community to grow over there. So now that I'm away, some people that I helped develop while I was there, now they're taking over and trying to get new people on the scene, to make parties, to make classes, to go to workshops, perhaps do shows later on. So one of the ways for us to continue, let's say, helping the people and also to help us, of course, because Greece is a very small Zouk community. We hope to grow in a few years. Is by the Mixcloud account. So the concept over there is that we are making a monthly top 10 with invited DJs every time. I think Nymph has been there once. Thank you for participating. So every month a different DJ will propose either the whole mix or the songs that he likes to dance to, or he likes to put in his house to train or put in a party. And people from all over the world will have the chance to listen to these songs. So a lot of people went to Prague, the Zouk Congress, right? But what about poor little me that I was not able to go there? How would I know the cool new songs over there, the people that enjoy to dance? One of the ways for me to do it is by asking some of the DJs over there to make their top 10. So this is what we are trying to achieve over there with the Mixcloud account. Nice. So if you want to listen to some cool tunes, please go to mixcloud.com/ZoukGR.
That sounds like a proper commercial. So I would like you to do my commercial now, but you cannot. So let's say, first of all, you have this thing here about our festival, Zouk Devil Summer Weekend, and it's going from 21st to 25th of July, and we hope to see you, everybody, all of you that are watching now there. And also, you know that we have this URL here at patreon.com/ZoukCast, where you can help us to build a better ZoukCast for all of you. And since we are out of time, Nymph, do you have any extra question?
Yeah, are you guys coming to the Zouk Devils Festival?
Well, I really, really want to come because I haven't done some good Zouk dancing for a long time, and it's really killing me. But I'm not sure if I can pull it off. I will honestly try my best, but I cannot make.
Just quit your job and come to Spain.
Let's move all to you.
Yeah. No further questions.
Okay, guys, so I guess that's all for today. And thank you, Joanna, for being here. Thank you, Stathis, also for being here.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. And it's been a long time since we didn't talk, so it's been a double pleasure for me.
Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Live.
Yeah, I hope so. And Nymph, every week, thank you for being here too, and to help me with the show and with the chat and all the questions of the ladies that we had today live on the chat, that they were trying to know more about this couple. And everybody, if you want to participate live in the show, you just have to go while we are broadcasting live. You have a chat window on the YouTube page where you can post your questions, and Nymph will read them and ask to the guests, right?
Yes.
So that's all for today. Thank you, everybody, again for being here. Joanna, Stathis, Nymph, and see you next week on an all-new ZoukCast.
Yes. Till next week.
Nice. So that's all for today, and goodbye, people.